Hello and welcome to The Conversation. You're with India Post Live, India's first news conversation web TV. We've got lots of things in store for you, but first, what we'd like to tell you is that we've got a brand new game for you. If you're interested in politics and you want to drive your Neta forward, then this is the game for you. The game is called The Vote Race, and you can just log on to our site and get all the votes that you want to get for your favorite politician between, of course, Narendra Modi, Arvind Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi. It's an exciting game. Log in and see. You will definitely like it. Apart from the game, of course, today we are going to discuss another game, and this time it's about Amritsar in the state of Punjab. It's a high voltage campaign, and we are seeing a battle between BJP's Arun Jaitley and the Congress's Captain Amarinder Singh. But despite being in power, why is the BJP Shiromani Akali Dal combined looking a bit fidgety on this seat? Let's find out.
Amritsar is also known as the biggest citadel of Sikh politics, and the contest here is turning out to be no less. Punjab CM Prakash Singh Badal is himself campaigning for BJP's Arun Jaitley, while the former Chief Minister Amrinder Singh is giving a tough fight to the BJP SAD combined. In a highly polarized election, Amritsar may be no different. Sikhs make up 65% of the voters, while Hindus are almost 35% in this constituency. However, a polarized election may benefit the Congress more than the BJP. Amrinder is hoping a Sikh versus Hindu fight will give him the clear advantage. BJP supporters have tried to blunt that edge by portraying Jaitley as the Deputy Prime Minister in a Modi-led NDA. Though Badal is hoping the rural Sikh voters will side with Jaitley, Congress is hoping to defeat the BJP stalwart with their own brand of politics the other way round. Reverse communalism.
Well, that's the buzzword, reverse communalism. And joining us to discuss this issue is our senior journalist, Venkatesh, and of course, Anita Katyal, senior columnist. Also joining us is Mr. Harjeshwar Singh from Patiala. He's a professor, and he'll be giving us his valuable inputs. Sir, Punjab University, I mean, you're there in the Punjab University. What is your take on this polarized election, especially in Amritsar?
This is a very interesting phenomena which has been happening in Punjab for a while now. It has commonly we have seen that it is BJP which is seen as a more communal party, that it consolidates Hindu votes. But if we look at the history of Punjab, Congress has also been doing the same thing. Throughout the 70s and 60s, it was using a sort of soft communalism. It was consolidating Hindu votes, while Akalis, they were more a Sikh party. But what has happened is, since the last 10-15 years with the emergence of Amrinder is that he is now trying to court Sikh votes. While Sukhbir Singh Badal, who is the president of Akali Dal, and his father Prakash Singh Badal, they have been consciously trying to have more Hindus incorporated into the party. So both, as far as Punjab is concerned, there is little difference between the two parties. Both have almost similar vote banks. If we look at the CSDS and other areas, both have almost similar vote banks. So it is not a new phenomena that here Akalis are doing what Congress is traditionally seen as doing, and Congress is doing what traditionally BJP Akalis have been doing.
Okay, I'd like to bring in Anita on this. Is it a new phenomenon, or we've seen it in the past also?
No, I agree with him that what's happened is that, Akali Dal, Shiromani Akali Dal was basically when it was kind of had its moorings in the Sikh religion. You know, the whole identity was that it would protect the Sikh religion and all that. But over a period of, and that's why its core constituency was the Sikhs, the Sikh community. Especially in the rural areas and all that, they had a complete grip and hold over it. But in the last election also we saw, you know, that they have been trying to kind of expand that. And especially with Sukhbir Badal taking over, he is talking about development and going beyond Panthic issues. And this is kind of helping them and not helping them. At one level now the Akalis are talking about that they stand for all Punjabis and not just the Sikhs. But on the other hand, the hardcore constituents, their constituents, their loyalists are upset. They feel that they've betrayed the cause, you know. They feel that, oh, this was for, the party was to protect the Sikh religion, and they are kind of somehow have gone astray. So that is one major issue, you know, which is the difference that we see now over a period of time. And we saw this in the last assembly elections particularly, and it helped the Akalis, you know. I mean, of course, a lot of it was management, political management by Sukhbir Badal. That was also a core issue, an important input into that election. But, you know, coming to Amritsar, Amritsar has just become a very, very interesting election for so many other reasons. You know, first that it's the two contenders, you know, I mean the two candidates are very, very high profile. When Akalis asked, literally begged BJP that they should field Arun Jaitley from here.
But why? I mean, they could have easily gone for a Sikh candidate.
No, I think their idea was first, number one, they wanted to get rid of Navjot Singh Sidhu, because Sidhu had become extremely unpopular and he had fallen out with Sukhbir's brother-in-law, Bikram Singh Majithia, who is an MLA from there and who had really helped consolidate the Sikh vote in the last election for Sidhu, you know, because Sidhu had lost a lot of ground otherwise in his second term. So they were very keen that, and they wanted somebody high profile. They wanted somebody, you know, I mean, one Akali leader told me, you know, that how he told Badal, and they all said, Kyoho, if they have somebody like Jaitley, then the finance minister will be from Amritsar, you know, the next finance minister, and that will give them so much leverage. Once, if the government is formed, if the India government is formed, you know, they could get so many goodies for the state. So that was one reason. Literally, you know, it's like in Punjabi they say, ki ladki maang ke li. So it was something like that. Ki Akalis ne maang ke Arun Jaitley ko waliya. And Arun Jaitley has never contested a Lok Sabha. He's known as a Rajya Sabha creature, you know, never kind of been in the rough and tumble of contesting a Lok Sabha poll. So for him, it was a new thing, but I think Akalis kind of assured him, you know, that it would be fine, that they would take care of everything, you know, because they had a vested interest in ensuring his victory. What they didn't bargain was for the Congress, the captain coming in and upsetting all their calculations.
Sir, captain upsetting the calculation, I mean, is it going to be embarrassment for the Akalis?
Well, certainly it's going to be embarrassing for the Akalis. But coming to the issue that we are discussing, I mean, how this whole thing is fanned out, I think, you know, what we need to look at is that identity politics and its manifestations are having what I call are micro editions. There is a larger macro identity political theme which a particular party is trying to push. Like, for example, the Akalis are trying to push the Panthik theme. The BJP is trying to push the Hindutva theme. Samajwadi Party, the OBC assertion, BSP, the Dalit assertion. But while this larger macro editions or the macro themes are functioning, they're operating at various levels, you also have these micro editions. So what I see in Amritsar, I mean, to extend Anita's argument on from how the Akalis have tried to build a broader platform in the assembly elections and how they're trying to move out from this Panthik agenda. What has happened is that while the Akalis wanted to get rid of Navjot Singh Sidhu, they did not think that there would be a kind of backlash from the Sikh community in Amritsar, which is now seeing Sikh MP from Amritsar. I mean, I think the whole argument is that, you know, that Amritsar cannot be represented by a Hindu. I mean, though Amritsar was represented by people like R.L. Bhatia for a long time, but then this micro edition, I think, you know, this is a very interesting phenomenon. I mean, if you look at the history of identity politics, I think we'll have these micro editions playing out again and again in the future.
Okay, I'd like to bring in Professor Harjeshwar on this. Sir, is it going to backfire for the Akalis, you know, trying to give that pan-Punjabiyat, approach for the state, and that could harm them in this election, especially in Amritsar?
I think I'll differ a bit on this. In my view, Punjab has come away from the identity politics in the last 15-20 years. I don't think identity politics or even the caste politics, except in some, it works. Politicians try to do it, but normally it does not take place. I'll just point it out. If we look at the social profile of the two parties, there is hardly any difference between the two. And even in here in Punjab, in Amritsar at the local level, we might call it Hindu versus Sikh, but it is more like a referendum on Bikramjit Singh Majithia and what he has done in the last 5-7 years. That is more a issue over here, what I perceive. I might be wrong on that. But for example, the force that he has been using, that he has been, it has been said that he is there in the drug cartel, selling drugs, plus capturing land, false FIRs. I think that is much more issue in the villages. Yeah, that is why I think the Sikh peasantry, which is there, they are more against Akalis than just because they are fostering a Hindu. I think that is more the rhetoric is there, but I think undercurrents is it is more a referendum on the working of Vikramjit Singh Majithia. That is what I think so.
Is it also could it also be a urban versus rural contest?
It could be, but I think if we look at the constituency profiles in the urban areas, even Congress is well present. Congress has also been certainly playing the communal card for a long time. There is a history in Amritsar. I don't think it would be like direct polarization of Hindus versus Sikhs. I think Congress has a substantial presence in the Hindu areas also. 2 and 3 very main Hindu leaders are there, like Mr. Soni is there, Mr. Rajkumar Verka, who's a Dalit. They have some very good leaders, and it's a very joint effort which has been put up by the Congress. At the moment, I see the Akalis and BJP on the back foot, and even today there was a news report where Mr. Jaitley has specifically told Mr. Majithia to not come to the city because he has told them just be there in your own constituency because there is a huge backlash against Mr. Majithia.
Okay, Anita, would you agree?
I agree with him because all the reports that are coming in from there suggest, and not just in Amritsar, but overall the reports that come from Punjab are that there's a huge anti-incumbency against the Akali government. And Majithia particularly, because in that area, like he was talking about his name cropping up in the drug cartel and land issues and all that, and since he belongs to the first family, so that he kind of tends to kind of overthrow his weight around and kind of pull rank on others and things like that. And so he has become extremely unpopular personally. And overall also the Akali government, I mean, there are a lot of issues, whether it's law and order or the drug menace or
Even
the tax issues, property tax issues. So there are a lot of issues like that, and the whole what the Congress is trying to do is to keep focus on those issues. Because Congress comes with its own baggage of anti-incumbency against the UPA government, Yeah. So they are doing that. Plus, what Amrinder is doing, focusing on, the Akali's role, their role in, say, Blue Star, when he's the one who raked it up and said, okay, that they knew about it and they were well aware about it, and so they cannot kind of claim that, that it was only the Congress or Indira Gandhi which was responsible for it. So he's also playing both in both cards,
Sir, don't you think from the media reports that are coming, how will it help Captain to actually play the Sikh card, or will it be easier for him to just focus on the anti-incumbency factor?
I'm of the view that both these cards, I mean, it will be a combination of all these things that he will be adopting. If you look at the last few elections, I mean, across India, I mean, even the assembly elections, you have seen that, that two types of anti-incumbency have been at play. In almost all the elections, I will attribute a large portion of this, or largely this phenomenon I'll attribute to the presence of the social media, the kind of expanse that various forms of media, including the visual media and electronic media, have had in the last few years. So, two different types of anti-incumbency have been at play in almost all the assembly elections also. The anti-incumbency in the state as well as the anti-incumbency against the center. Now what we are seeing is even a more minuscule version of this, anti-incumbency against a local politician impacting a Lok Sabha election. So I feel that what Amrinder and the Congress would be doing would be to take all these factors together and try and play them accordingly to the situation, according to say again micro geopolitical preferences.
Okay.
No, I agree. You play the card wherever you find it works.
Okay, so we'd just like to remind our viewers that You can also log into the conversation. Just log on to indiapostlive.com, and you can also give us your opinions, your thoughts about what you feel about what is going to happen in Amritsar and whether this communalism card is going to work for either parties. And you can use @India Post Live on Twitter or hashtag India Post Live on your tweets and comments that you send to us. I'd like to go back to Professor Harjeshwar on this. What about the other issues? You know, I mean, tourism, farmers. Are these issues actually being discussed by Mr. Jaitley and Captain, or have they been swept under the carpet and just a discussion of whether Mr. Jaitley will be Deputy Prime Minister or not, or whether we need a Sikh MP from Amritsar?
I think they are discussing these issues, but they, in the rhetoric which is there, I think both the parties, they have even Congress as well as the BJP, they lack security in Punjab. There is a huge incumbency factor, and that if we see in the undercurrents, Aam Aadmi Party, I think they will be doing much better than what we see from the media reports. Because if we look at the social media, it is totally up. And I think that discontent is also being channelized into support for AAP. So whether they talk about tourist hubs or other things, people, they don't think that either Akalis or Congress, they are credible. Amrinder still is a much charismatic leader in Punjab, so he has some legitimacy. But as far as other leaders are concerned, they are seen as bad as the Akalis are. I think Mr. Jaitley, and even BJP, Akalis, they are totally confused in Punjab at the moment. In places, in Kotla, they are not playing picture of Modi. In some other place, BJP is not even showing the photographs of the Badals. Now, this is very interesting. In Punjab, Badals are seen as a liability at the moment by BJP. They are calling for Mr. Modi and his relatives, but they don't know whether it will help them or in Punjab it would be a liability. So there is total confusion as far as Akalis and BJP are concerned in Punjab. So they are trying all type of tactics, and they are not working at the moment.
Okay, confusion in Akalis. Venkatesh has a question for you.
And I want to ask you specifically about the AAP factor that you're talking about. Is it something that you're seeing in Amritsar, or are you seeing it in other places in Punjab, or is it something confined to Chandigarh?
Interestingly, what I perceive is that AAP is in a very good position at least 6 or 7 seats in Punjab at the moment. Now, there is almost a consensus in Punjab that Sangrur seat, where Mr. Bhagwant Singh Maan is, it is almost AAP which is winning there. Everybody is saying that there at the local level. Similarly, at Patiala, we have in Faridkot, in Gurdaspur, they are doing very well. At least 2-3 more seats. And even here at Amritsar itself, the local candidate, Mr. Daljit Singh, he has a very good reputation. He has a history of doing social service. And plus the youth, especially in Punjab, they are very energized. I have been to villages, and there is a groundswell of support for AAP at the moment. For the last 7-8 days, I think there has been a groundswell of support for AAP, and Punjab is a big surprise in India in these elections. I see at least winning them at least 20% vote share in Punjab and at least 1 and 2 seats.
Okay, that's very interesting.
That excludes Chandigarh.
Oh, that includes Chandigarh.
He's saying about 20% vote for AAP.
Yeah, that's what I've also heard. The reports coming in from there seem to suggest, that the anti-incumbency which the Congress should have cashed in on, AAP is because they have, their choice of candidates has been very, very smart, they have gone in for very smart choices, depending on and they are kind of cutting into to that vote. So I think the Congress, which was hoping to kind of do very well because of the anti-incumbency against the Badal government.
But I thought it was only till Chandigarh, Gulpanag doing well.
No, but I just, for the last couple of days, there have been a series of reports in various newspapers which seem to suggest that AAP is in Punjab, I mean, compared to Haryana, everybody thought it would do very well.
Yeah.
But I was speaking to some people from Haryana yesterday, and they said they haven't made that kind of an impact. Yes, some impact, but not that kind of impact. It's much more in Punjab, So even he was mentioning about the doctor in, forgetting his name, who was in the fray in Amritsar. He's supposed to be, he's got a very good reputation, and he will definitely grab some of the votes, But to what extent and is to be seen, because like he said, Amrinder is a very, very charismatic leader, and he still has that aura of a Maharaja, and he has his style and his swagger and everything, and people do get impressed with him. And more than that, what has happened is with Amrinder coming into the fray, although he was kind of reluctant to begin with, but once he came in, he kind of really got into it in a big way. The Congress machinery, the Congress cadres and everybody, I mean, it was like so factional ridden, you know, there was so much infighting. They have managed to get together and put up a united front. So to that extent, it has helped, you know, his coming into the fray has helped energize the the faction-ridden cadres on Congress.
Okay, so I mean, going by what Professor is saying, do you think Punjab is heading the Delhi way if we want to see AAP?
No, in fact, if it could actually head the Delhi way, because I would like to ask the professor, what are the votes? Which kind of vote bank is the AAP cutting into? See, for example, in Delhi, we saw that that AAP kind of cornered a large number of anti-incumbency votes, but in all probability, a large number of votes that would otherwise gone to the Congress. Are we seeing a similar kind of phenomenon in Punjab as well?
Very interesting question. In my opinion, AAP is cutting into almost all types of vote banks at the moment. But one thing that we have to consider is that the impact of social media is much higher in Punjab. Plus, we have a huge NRI population. That is almost 10 to 15%, and they have influence in almost each and every village and locality. And that is totally, they are supporting AAP in a very big way in all types of manners. They are calling up people over there. They are posting things on Facebook pages. And that has sort of energized the rural population. I see impact of AAP in the urban, of course, areas. It was there previously, but now it has spread to the villages also. And the Sikh, what we call the radicals, they are supporting the AAP in a very big manner. I see even small, what we call traders, they are supporting educated people, especially the youngsters. There is tremendous support for AAP. We can see in the rallies of Bhagwant Mann and other AAP candidates, that is the rural people and that's the youngsters who are driving this. Here it is almost, I don't know much about Delhi, but it is almost, there is no organization as far as Punjab is concerned for AAP. Organization is negligible, but it is just spontaneous. It's people who are emerging, who are supporting AAP in every villages. Even the candidates don't know who are supporting them. People don't know who their candidates are. But there is a huge groundswell of support for AAP. I think we could be having for a big surprise as far as Punjab is concerned.
But sir, you said even the radical Sikhs are supporting AAP. Why is that happening?
That is because 2-3 things that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal did. For example, he gave ticket to Mr. Fulka, who is a big icon among the Sikhs. Plus, when he was in CM of Delhi, he instituted an SIT for 1984. Plus, he took up the case for that farmer in Gujarat. And one thing we have to see that Mr. Kejriwal has a big credibility at the moment, which is providing a big momentum to him. People see him as credible and they are supporting him. And there are, it is very interesting thing that there are songs, the Punjabi songs are very famous. We have a number of songs which are dedicated to Kejriwal, where Kejriwal has been eulogized, and they have been circulated in the social media.
Okay, so that's. Sir, any last comments from you before we wrap up?
I think this is a very close contest as far as, and I think all the three AAP would be playing the big spoiler over here. I think we are in for a surprise as far as Punjab elections are concerned.
Okay, Professor Saab, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you in more of our conversations later on. So,
thanks.
Sir, AAP, I mean, and the way he's mentioned about Arvind Kejriwal, the SIT and taking up the issue of farmers in Gujarat, the Sikh farmers over there. Yeah. Isn't that also sort of, radicalism or, reaching out to the Sikhs?
Absolutely. And I think, there's very, very important message from this conversation about the format also, because, normally we have these experts coming in with this siloed approach. They are ready-made answers and things like that. When somebody from the ground joins in a conversation, this is the kind of value addition. We started talking about reverse communalism and how it's going to impact Amritsar, and now we have reached a situation where a new perspective about Punjab politics has come up. I think it's also a kind of statement about the format of the conversation that we are having.
I'll just last one thing, he mentioned, the very fact that why AAP is popular We mentioned 2-3 factors about Kejriwal setting up SIT and to probe the 1984 riots and taking up the issues of farmers in Gujarat and so on and so forth, and Pulka, and which is precisely what it was a reaction to that Akalis who were on a back foot in Amritsar, grabbed this interview that Amrinder gave in which he spoke about Titler, and they kind of brought the focus back on 1984 and tried to take ownership of this issue, because it is their issue. They are the ones who have been raising it all the time, and they have been talking about the riots and the victims and justice for them and so on and so forth. So when this issue came out, Amrinder made this point, they quickly jumped into the fray, and tried to kind of
bring it back to
the basics
of what their campaigns are normally all about.
Exactly.
Okay. We also have someone joining us on Skype. Vinayak, can you hear us? I don't think. Vinayak, can you hear us? No, I think we've lost the audio there. But coming back to sir, the issue of communalism, I mean, I don't think the BJP and Akalis thought that Captain would be able to be convinced, because he had told the Congress High Command that he'll be busy with the election in Patiala. But the sort of impact or difference you see, a personality like Captain making to the whole campaign.
This is something which we have seen in various elections, and this is not confined to one election. The presence of a person makes a sea change to the given parameters. In fact, when Jaitley decided to go, he must not have thought that that there is a problem like this. So all of a sudden you have a situation. The very presence of somebody like Amrinder makes a lot of difference, makes a whole difference to the whole situation, and it creates a kind of surge of support for Congress, and various factors which are not related to politics as such, they come out and they make themselves visible. I think the presence of Amrinder is a very, very important catalyst in this whole scheme of things.
Okay, I think we've got Vinayak. Vinayak, can you hear us?
Yeah.
So,
I
Vinayak,
can hear you.
yeah, any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, like Amrinder, I just want to discuss the theory why Amrinder was fielded in Amritsar. See, the primary motive of fielding Amrinder in Amritsar was not to make him win or was not to defeat Jaitley. It was like Akalis have been confined to just two constituencies, Amritsar and Bathinda, where Manpreet is contesting. Now the CM Prakash Singh Badal, Vikram Majithia, they are looking after Amritsar, while Sukhbir Badal is left for Bathinda alone. So they don't have any other larger than life leader for the Akali Dal who is looking after for the other constituencies. So Akalis are going weaker and the anti-incumbency is working against them. It is possible that Amrinder may lose Amritsar, but Congress may get good number of seats from Punjab. Like they may win 8 to 9 seats, but they were not expecting that till the candidates were not declared. One, and second, like in last general elections, OP Soni was the candidate from the Congress. He got the chunk of voters, the Hindu voters from Amritsar. So Hindus are in any day, they are gonna vote to a Hindu candidate. I talked to General Barat 6 or 7 months back. He just said that after Operation Blue Star, the Hindus living around that Golden Temple complex were behaving with the soldiers as they were their saviors. So communalism is still there. If Hindus are communalized, so are Sikhs. And the hardliner Sikhs are anyway, they are cozying up towards AAP and they will not go towards Amrinder. So that vote share which we are presuming that they will go to Congress, it will shift to Aam Aadmi Party. So I don't see, like, it's not easy for Amrinder to win Amritsar. It's a very tough contest.
Okay,
Jaitley is the next.
I think there seems to be some audio problem, but he made some important points. I mean, the very fact that AAP is going to take a lot of the radical vote Do you see that actually
Yeah,
happening?
yeah, I would imagine it's very, it's very similar to what has happened in Delhi, where what they have, I think, made a very conscious effort to kind of target the Sikh vote, like Fulka and Maan and a couple of other constituencies where they have, which is what they did in Delhi with, I mean, they targeted the minority vote over here, and which Congress found, that they realized that especially in this election, in Lok Sabha elections, after, that the Muslim vote had shifted, had been disturbed, and a substantial chunk of the Muslim vote had moved towards AAP. And I think it's a very similar kind of narrative which is playing out in Punjab, where a substantial chunk of the Sikh vote, and especially, like I said, maybe the radical vote, which they feel sometimes a lot of very hardcore radicals, Sikh radicals, who feel that betrayed, like I said
By
earlier,
both
by the
mainstream parties.
No, especially the Akalis, because they
Okay.
feel they have betrayed the cause of Sikhism, by kind of talking more of Punjabis and Punjabiyat and not Sikhs themselves, But talking of what it said was, Vinayak said it's a fact that Amrinder being fielded over there has confined the Akalis. They've had to work extra hard, and in Amritsar and also Bathinda, which is also another very important seat for them. The point is that both of the Akalis, it is absolutely critical and crucial that they win these seats.
Okay.
It is their prestige is at stake. Their reputation is on line over here. They have to do everything. I mean, even if they have to stand on their heads, they just have to ensure that these two,
Okay.
they don't lose these two.
I think Vinayak wants to say. Vinayak, one last, last comment.
Yeah, I just want to add, like Harminder Singh Jassi, he's a former sympathizer. He is contesting from the adjoining Khadur Sahib constituency, and
Okay.
Maan is also there. Harsimranjit Singh Maan, the patron of Khalistani movement in Punjab, he is also there. So the Panthak votes are in any way, they are not going towards Congress as they are being perceived. So
Okay.
and Amritsar has 4 rural constituencies and 5 urban constituencies. And in rural constituencies, people will vote for the balance, the Takadi, known in Punjabi, for the Akalis. They are least bothered who is the candidate, who is the chief minister, who is not.
Okay.
The old line is there. They're just going to vote for the symbol.
Okay, Vinayak. I'm sorry we're running short of time. Thanks very much for joining us, and I'll just take the last comments. I'll come to you, Venkatesh, first. If the vote is split between, if the radical vote is split between AAP and Congress, where do you see Amrinder standing as far as Amritsar is concerned?
No, if this is true, I mean, one is not very familiar with what exactly is the ground situation, but certainly a new perspective that has come up. But if it is true, and if this is what it is going to be, I cannot foresee how it is going to, play out in a constituency like Amritsar or Bathinda or other constituencies in Punjab, because Punjab generally has these small constituencies. But if you're going by normal political wisdom, then it should help people who have got a core vote base. But what is being suggested now, that is that the core vote base itself is splintering.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting situation, and I think we'll see a situation where we'll have very strange results coming out of Punjab.
It will be like the total results of the general elections,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Last comments, Anita, on this.
No, I will just say that Vinayak, sorry,
Yeah.
I've forgot his name. He was talking about the fact that in the rural areas, in the Sikh peasantry, Akalis have a complete hold over them. But I guess that is true. Traditionally, that has been their core constituency and all that. And this is precisely what Amrinder is trying to disturb. Firstly, by projecting himself as a Sikh, and he has also, been with the Akalis earlier, and so
He knows how they function.
the function, and so that's precisely he is trying to disturb that vote.
Okay.
Which is why he's been talking about 1984 and saying that he's a Sikh and and he's an outsider and he's over there. Plus his own personality and charisma and all those factors that he's kind of depending upon.
Okay, so thanks so much. Thank you, Anita and Venkatesh, for joining us. Vinayak, of course, has left. So there, there you are. It seems to be a pretty complex mix of communalism and with the hardcore Sikh vote, which side will it go? Is it going to stay with the Shiromani Akali Dal, or are we going to see Captain making inroads into it, and even the AAP eating somewhat of the vote share into it? So it seems to be as complex as it was when we started the conversation. So you can also log in and post your comments on indiapostlive.com, and of course you can follow us on our Twitter handle @IndiaPostLive and add hashtag #IndiaPostLive to your tweets. Thank you very much for joining us, and the conversations will continue on India Post Live.